And welcome everyone. As we are going through our topic of soul plan, so we will continue. And today we plan to take a real example, sharing of a master. And I hope it will help some of you to connect the dots. Because you see, we have been talking about that these concept understanding, of course, is the first step, but really to make use of it, we have to connect the dots. We have to link it to our own life. That means you have to see how you can be benefited by it. That is the main thing. So today I will be sharing that example, and I hope it will help for you to think that, okay, not necessarily everything is one-on-one, but doesn't matter what your story is, what your situation is, you will be able to decode your own. So today will be no PowerPoint, but we'll go through this real story. So this is about a mother, a lady who had, her son is 17 years now, but you can imagine when the child was detected initially with autism, how you feel. And life goes through different scenarios. So we will just see what were the key elements, and then we will see how it connects to the soul plan or pre-birth planning. So in the past, she had a very, you can say, tough relationship with her father, because the father was very strict, very stern. Father was an army officer. The mother certainly was, again, father, mother, they were from a very humble background, from the farming one. So very simple life, but the father was very strict. Mother brought up the upbringing given to her by the mother was, giving full dose of, that, okay, you have to be ambitious, you have to be a someone. So that was the benefit she got from her mother. And she became an ambitious person that way. Now, because it was very, conservative family, she was very quiet. She could not express herself. Now, another issue was that in the family, the boy was considered more important, and she had a younger brother. So that was another reason of the child who think that I'm not heard, I'm supposed to be quiet. So you further go back kind of thing in terms of communication, and you become a very quiet child. So that's what happened with her, because she didn't have the guts to express herself. So she had to learn to come out of this and learn to express herself later in the life. During this time, she did feel resentment when she was not able to express. She had a lot of anger because, you have things that you want to express, you want to do something, you want to ask something, there are many things which you are not able to do because you're not allowed to speak, to express yourself. So you can imagine the resentment or the anger sets in. That means it becomes over the period, bigger and bigger issue. And though she was expressive by nature, but she had to shut down due to this upbringing. Being a girl, which was adding to the situation. So one thing which she got from her mother, which was the ambition part, during this time, she listened to herself. She did what makes her happy. And this is a very big thing, masters. So in this summary, what we will be reviewing today, this is a very big factor. When you listen to yourself, and if you have this sense that, okay, this makes me happy or this makes me really excited, means you are coming close to your soul, you are coming close to your soul plan. Like we have seen in the previous sessions, we keep talking about identify what makes you sing, identify what makes you sad. That gives you a hint what could be related to your soul plan or what may not be related to your soul plan. Anything that is not making you happy, making you kind of excited, may not be part of your soul plan. Anything which is making you happy, divine feeling, totally full of gratitude and whatnot, then yes, it has very high probability that it is related to your soul plan. So after doing her education as an MBA, she came to Bombay and she was there. And obviously you can imagine initially when you're taking first job and it's not easy to survive with your own salary. But she always wanted to be a positive person. And she used to read a lot. So another good thing, if you have a habit of reading, means you will go through different concepts, you will develop this habit of enhancing your wisdom. And again, because she was listening to herself, she was ambitious, there was one good thing, she knew the shortcomings. She knew that, okay, what are the constraints for her? And she kept trying, working hard to overcome all the shortcomings. Not just one, she kept working on all of them. And whatever time it took, she was prepared to like, okay, I will keep working on my shortcomings. Now, this is another big thing. That means first you know yourself and you are ready to work on it. Because she was sure one day she will be able to overcome this. Now, why it is such a big deal? You may have experienced either yourself or you may have seen someone else. We learn certain concepts, we go through certain things, and we either feel it's very easy, you may feel it's very tough, but you know the concept. Knowing is only the starting point. The result will only come if you apply those concepts. Whether it's meditation, pranayam, yoga, whatever that case may be. If we understand this is the process, but if we don't apply, the benefit is only partial. You will gain small benefit because you know something which is good. But the real benefit comes when you understand and apply on it. Apply yourself, apply in your situation, whatever the requirement is. depending on the situation, depending on what the topic is. And this positivity came from her mother, because she was like that. Her mother was exactly full of energy, though she was very thin and frail. It's not like she was a strong, tall, no. By appearance, you would imagine that such a weak person, but no, internally she was a very strong lady. Whatever happens, she would just move on. She had this positivity in her, because things not always goes as per your wish. Life is life. So you have to really accept and move on. She was never too tired for anything, especially for kids or others. Sometimes, you come from work, you're tired, and if the kid says something, I want this, that, or they want to ask a question, something, and we so easily say, oh, I'm very tired now, come later, or things like those. But in this case, she will be always ready. So these kind of strength she got from her mother. So what had happened that when she got married, the person was from Bhubaneswar, and when the first child, when she was expecting, parents, they always say, oh, uh, generally go to the hometown and with the parents, and that's where parents would love the first child to be. Now, in that situation, it's easy, okay, you can fly, you can go, but the airlines, they don't allow beyond 7 months. And at that time, it was that, okay, you will get maternity only for 5 months, but then she wanted for 7, because obviously a different situation. And it was a big deal, because if you are not getting, that means you have to quit your job. And as a working woman, ambitious person, and that's a big thing, that you have to quit your job because of all these factors. And it's not easy, because at that time, especially now, it's maybe easy that, okay, you just quit your job, you can get again after some time. But at that time, it was kind of a taboo, that, okay, you are leaving the job, that means probably you're not coming again. Joining back was very difficult. So you can imagine, if that was your mental state before you are giving birth to a child, because you are quitting your job, ambitious, obviously you're not feeling well in terms of the decisions and all, but it is what you have to do. So it certainly puts negativity into you, right? And then after the birth of the child, she started feeling that something is different in the child, or something is not what normally you would expect. The response of the child, or playing, or things like those. So you call by the name, generally child respond, or child will hug the mom like other kids. So there were certain things that this child was different. So when the time came, and they for the school admission, and they went for the doctor for medical certificate and all that thing, that was the time when this was diagnosed, that, oh, he has autism. And at that time, it was not that even known. So parents are like, what is that? So then they came to know, okay, this is the condition. Communication is could be an issue, and different options are there. So because the mother was having this habit of reading a lot, she went through a lot of research. She started reading about it, and she came to know about the gluten part, the casein part, because the wheat has gluten, milk has casein, and then that is not good in this particular case. It makes them hyper. And finding options at that time, you can imagine, roughly 17 years ago, that at that time finding food which is gluten-free or casein-free was not that easy, at least in India at that time. So they did whatever they could, uh, find the places, find some products. Of course, rice was okay, millet-based and other things. So whatever, they have to plan things. They have to make sure that, okay, what can be given, what cannot, and all those kind of things. Then came a time when there was a homeopathy doctor which was helping her for some skin thing. And then he said, no, I can also help your child. And that's how the child was also treated by this homeopathy doctor. And within, like in no time, a couple of weeks, there was a difference in the child in terms of communication, because child was not able to express. And after that treatment, he started at least expressing that I need to go to washroom and things, which he was not doing before. So that was a good kind of, you see a light at the end of the tunnel, or at least some improvement. And she was getting help from her sister-in-law. She was getting, because as a parent, you have to go through a lot of different sessions, different places where you have to take the child, and it becomes really hectic. So while all this was going on, of course, a lot of research, a lot of findings, so you were getting help. But at this stage, she had to put the working ambition away, because she knew that there's no way, you can work. So though you are very much, work-oriented or professional kind of person, but in this stage, she had to take the back seat and say, okay, husband is taking care of the house and I'll take care of the child, and research and finding, and took help of sister-in-law, who was also helping in taking the child to different places, because different therapy, different sessions. So it's a lot of work. Now, all these things went through, and then the help they also got when the second child was born. And as a younger brother, that was good, because the elder one started learning emotions and behaviors from the younger one. That is the time when, because you have issues having friends and all in school or otherwise, because unfortunately people don't understand, and either they make fun or they will not understand how to be with such person. So in this case, the younger brother was really very helpful for him, and was able to someone to play with and all that. So all these things to the next step, which is he came third in the national spell bee competition. So there were things that he was very good at. So he was good in music, and there were things that obviously you will feel that he may not be good at. So these are the things which kept them going, that okay, keep doing what you are good at. And they avoided the allopathy medicine, so they were continuing with the homeopathy and all. So the important thing here is they were working together as a couple, and going through all these things, finding out what's good, finding out what should be avoided in terms of eating, in terms of activities, in terms of, all those things. And then slowly and slowly the condition and the situation improved, and he started, whether study-wise, behavior-wise, communication-wise, he started improving, and became much better. And now, like at age 17, he's as good as any other kid. So no issue there. Now, what happened because of all these results, all this struggle? So results of all this struggle means those 8 years or initial time, she did a lot of things which she would have not done otherwise. Whether in terms of research, whether in terms of activities, whether in terms of food, diet, and all those things connecting it to different groups, different people, organic food, and things avoiding like lactans or casein and things like those. During this time, she always had in her that she wanted to be an artist. And during this time, she became one. She wanted to do social work. And because of all this, she was able to join an NGO, and she could support so many things for them because she was already like an MBA, so marketing, sales, which was so easy for her. She could help the NGO. So she was able to explore so many other fields. And today she's the corporate leader. You can say the corporate leadership coach with Iron Lady. Now, all this wouldn't have happened if this wouldn't have happened. So she was able to do what she wanted. She was able to, get involved in certain things which she wanted, but she was not getting, because, when you get into your normal life, normal job, you go in a certain way. But this gave an opportunity for her to get involved in something that she always wanted to. It gave her a lot of name, a lot of people appreciate her. Now she's running her own business, connecting with different community, different people, motivating so many people. And this gives her more joy, more pleasure, more fulfillment than anything else. So you may say that she was destined to have a different life, supporting different people. Of course, you always have a feeling that, okay, you could have done differently, better, or, there's always room for improvement. But the point comes that, okay, you are going through what we may say a stereotype life, okay, you do your, whatever the study you do your job, you have a family life. But then the universe kind of, changes the direction. So a situation comes in front of you, which makes you change your course, quit the job, support the child, find out certain details, find out group of people, new business, new NGO, a lot of things. So at the end, you can see a lot of positivity. Now, you can say in a way that, was this her pre-birth planning? Like in pre-birth planning, we call, like there are different concepts. So we say soul family, right? There's a group of souls, they play different roles for each other. So in this case, the father played the role of a strict person so that she will work on her expressiveness. Masters, if you recall, we talked about the concept of contrast. Means if something you want to work on, life takes you to the opposite of it. So if you want to value communication, you want to understand and you want to improve that, it is not that life will put you where everybody knows or help in communication. So life has put her in the opposite, the contrast. Contrast means you are not allowed to express yourself, and you understand the value, and then you come to what you want to do, which is improving your communication, improving your expressiveness. So at one time, one can feel that, oh, father was so strict, means, why would be, this is harsh, but no. You look from the soul plan perspective, father did a wonderful job pairing it with her that, okay, that you get support that, okay, in this scenario, you will be forced kind of in a situation where you are not able to express, and you understand the value, and then you improve your expressiveness. Mother, she gave her a lot of positivity. She will never give up. And with that, she used, all the things, whatever she was able to do, whether fulfilling the dreams or the wish, what she wanted to do, helping others, NGOs, being a business owner rather than just, working for some company, what normally do or what she was doing initially. Let's look at the brother. You may say, oh, lucky boy. Being a boy, he was always listen and always get what he wanted and all those kind of things. But from the soul plan perspective, you can say, yes, brother played a role in creating a situation where she would feel that her identity is kind of lost. And then later part of the life, she worked, again, concept of contrast. She worked her way and created her own identity, created the glory. Now people know her, appreciate her, proud of her, and she's her own, having her own business. So you see, sometime in the life, we can be, sometimes we get negative, sometimes we get jealous. Oh, look at him, or, lucky person, this, that, and the other. But you never know. They're just playing roles. And probably she's a mature soul. Why? She may be a mature soul because she has the strength for to know and to do what is right thing to do. She could identify, yes, I like this, I don't like that. Whatever makes her heart sing, she did that. That's soul plan. Once you can identify, yes, this really makes me happy, I want to do more of this, that means you are closer to your soul plan. Connect to the concept we talked about, balancing her karmas. So probably she's now balancing her karmas. Why? Helping others, serving others. And with that, you are overcoming the topics that probably the key topics she may have as a pre-birth planning, means the expression part, identifying yourself, self-esteem, self-respect, all those things which without expression and losing the identity, which you lose all that, she was able to work on. You have to see what emotions are responsible for those karmas, which is the background. Taking care of the child, taking care and helping others in the society. And once you know that you are so much about, the profession of working, because you're a working woman, and you have to really compromise in the sense you think that I have to give up and all that. So you are really overcoming your emotions. We call detachment. So your job, your career, it is something like, no, it's mine. And we try to, we cannot just let go. We are like a child, we'll say, no, this is my toy. And that happens, giving up career is not so easy when you worked so hard to get it. You studied, you did all that, now you got a job, and now all of a sudden you have to leave it, which was not planned. It comes sudden. So if you can overcome those emotions, those attachments, certainly this would help in balancing also. So not only you are taking one part, which is part of balancing, but also releasing the karma. So this way she could do both, the balancing, releasing. She took help of people like sister-in-law and all, which really helped her in, continuing. She helped others. She, first of all, balanced the whole, your work balance, your personal life. But more importantly, after balancing these karma, also releasing those karmas by accepting, by really taking that, okay, If it has to be this way, then let go and you work on that. Now, another question. People sometimes can let go, but it is out of fear or out of, again, some situation which you say, what option do I have? I have to let go. But that's a separate thing. When you let go with a clarity in your mind, with some positivity that what you want to achieve, now is different. Now you're not crying every day that, oh, I let my job go, or I let this go, or whatever it is. You know why you did, you have a reason, and you are working towards that positive outcome. And that positive outcome is more motivating for you what you left behind. So coming out of it, now again you got it, but you didn't just jump to the old job. You, in fact, started a business, which is, again, not just to earn money. Of course, any business means it's a for-profit organization, unless it's an NGO. But nothing wrong in for-profit, but you picked something which is really to help the society, help other people. Because you are in this organic produce, you are connecting the farmers so that you can bring the product, and access to the people who really look forward to those specific categories of food. This is very important because we all have some challenge or the other in our life. We all have. When we are in human incarnation, small, big, doesn't matter. We all faces situation, challenges, because that's soul plan. The soul is here to learn, to experience the emotion. But when you're going through what we call suffering, do you cry every day? Or you are still full of positivity and you are looking to what is next, finding the solution and helping others, looking at a bigger picture. That is one key factor. Of course, when you're going through it, no doubt there will be challenges. Some days you will be really low on energy, low on self-esteem or whatever. But what's the main overall direction? Anything small happens, bad happens with us, we keep crying. Okay, 1 hour, 1 day, or you cry every week, every month, like every day of the month. That is critical. Because if you are only crying about this happened, that happened, why me, and all that thing, then it's all negative. Negative cannot bring positivity in your life. But when you take it as a challenge, in the sense, not as a challenge means, okay, you make it turn around, but as a positive that, okay, this is what it is. And, you do whatever is needed to be done, but gracefully, with acceptance and surrendering. Surrendering means you're not fighting the universe. You're not fighting your destiny. You're finding a solution with the hope and feeling you're helping others. So you see, in this environment, in this situation, you can feel that the life could have been just negative, negative, negative. But how your soul plan, your pre-birth planning, if you can understand the concept, it becomes much easier. Because you see that there were a lot of concepts like contrast. Life puts you through first the contrast situation before comes here. So if somehow you understand this concept, going through this phase becomes very easy. Of course, at that time, the person didn't know, the person just did. But now we can relate all those things, that how it is so close and at the end so useful. And that's why, as we say, universe is never trying to punish you. Universe is trying to align you to your soul plan. Soul plan means progress of the soul. And that is very important. So we should never be full of just crying, crying, crying every day. Understand what may be in it for you, take it, move on. And masters, all this can only be done when you work on yourself. You can understand, you can hear the concept, Doesn't matter what situation you are in. It may not be health related at all. It may be something else. It may be relation. It may be your career. It may be your whatever. But the concept of soul plan is same. It works exactly the same way. Contrast is contrast. Doesn't matter what the situation is. Understand your situation, apply, you can identify your own soul plan. So even if you are going through some critical phase, you will still enjoy it in the sense you know that, okay, what is happening, why it is happening, what may be the good part, what is coming in the future for you, and then you work towards it. So rather than just crying, you will be still enjoying and saying, okay, great, I found it and I'm working on it. But you have to do the introspection. That means you have to look inside. That means you have to identify, because no one else can identify what's happening inside or what's happening around you, because only you can see what's happening inside. And then accept and surrender. If you don't accept, then obviously nothing much can be done, because to do something, some action has to be done. Action will only come when you accept and surrender. If you are in denial mode, not much can be done. If you are in denial, you will not accept. So certainly, masters, first understand the concept. Try and apply on yourself slowly and slowly so you understand it better. So later on, if any situation comes, you will be so easily decoding it to say, okay, this means this. And if this is so be it. Okay, I accept and I move on. So you will be able to take it positively. You will be able to make your life blissful, and you will enjoy it, doesn't matter what. And this is what we call emotional independence. That means you don't blame others for your situation, good or bad. You know it is in your hand. Don't blame the weather, the traffic, the colleagues, neighbors, all kinds of things. No. If you do this, you will achieve what we call emotional independence. So masters, this was today. I thought we'll give a real life example, very positive one, in where you can see the dots coming connected. This is not from the book. This is our own real, one of the masters who have gone through this. So if you have any question about this concept or about today's session, please feel free to ask. And if something you want to share regarding today's topic, please feel free. It will always, it's always welcome, because it always helps others. So back to you, Ashokji. You can raise your hand or unmute yourself, masters, if anyone has any question.
Yes, Sridevi ma'am, you are unmuted. Yeah, Sridevi ji, you can.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sir, I kind of missed, some concept. I joined little late, but I do have a question. So I would like to, check with you.
Sure.
Some of the situations, right, as you were talking, like coming in the life, and so initially there was a sad and why me kind of thing, and later like understood, okay, something was happened in the past, and this is what happening now. I understood, and then I am working on this meditation and get rid of that emotion, and everything is going in that path. But like I can say, like when I reach 70%, and then it is repeating, even though I know it, right? It was happened in a couple of times, but that some little portion of that, it's not going away completely. So what is that indicate? Do I need to put more effort, or like how do I get rid of completely, right?
Okay.
Um,
So one thing I would like to clarify is, if it is happening again and again, is the intensity coming down?
yeah, intensity and the period, right? Initially the crying was there like 5 days or 7 days sometimes, but now slowly and the intensity reduced, but sometimes it's high intensity, but it's short time, right? Like half a day or a couple of hours, but the intensity is more only, but I can say the time is reduced.
Hmm.
Like couple of hours, and then I was able to come out of it. But those couple of hours I want to work on that. So what do you suggest, um,
So see, there are two things. When we talk of karmas, there is a balancing and there is a release. Balancing means, say, at one time I received help, somebody helped me. Next time, it could be a next life. So in previous life, somebody helped me. This life, I am helping someone. It could be a financial help, it could be whatever. So in previous life, somebody helped me financially. In this life, I'm helping someone else financially. This is balancing. One life I took, this life I'm giving. This is balance. But we have to release the karma also. If we don't release, the cycle of receiving and giving will continue. And if things are continuing in your example with whatever you could share, then maybe the issue is releasing of karma. Now, what is releasing of karma? Releasing means, say, for example, you go to temple and you can say, hey, I'm going to temple, I'm praying every day. But one person is going out of fear that, oh my God, if I don't go, this will happen, that will happen, all things will go wrong. And out of fear, I'm going. I have no intention, I have no positivity, I'm just going out of fear as a checklist item. There is another person who goes there, and whether you go there for peace, whether you go there for helping others, whether volunteering or whatever. So totally two different things. Both people are going to both persons are going to the temple, but very different outcomes. In this case, example of giving and receiving, same thing. If I am giving, but again, I'm giving out of fear that if I don't give, I will lose. Suppose it's my business and I'm giving charity, whatever, little bit.
expectation, right? Expectation. You are giving with the expectation.
Exactly. So that means attachment, that, okay, if I don't do this, something bad will happen to me. So either this expectation or attachment or fear, it could be anything, because this is a hypothetical example. So you may review, do you have anything, such thing that you can say, is it my fear, I am doing whatever is your case, or is it what it is? If you can identify, then you have to come out of it. So in the example of the person going to temple, if you come out of fear and you go like you're going to meet a friend, that's how we should take, whether you call universe, God, or whatever. Don't go out of fear. Go as a love. Go as a devotion. That is the change needed. Then you will release the karma. That means that cycle of going back and forth should stop.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I'm getting it. Thank you so much.
Very welcome. Yes, Bintiya ji.
Hello, Gaurav sir. Thank you. Thank you for all the wisdom you've been sharing about soul plan. So detailed, and I missed a couple, but I listened to them again. So as you have asked, I've been doing these past few weeks, I've been following what you said and figuring out what really made me, happy, made my soul sing, and what connects. And I've I kind of identified I have had music all my life from when I was small, whether by my choice or by my parent, but it followed me when I came to US too. And I pursued it now again, and I'm going through it. And also the service concept has been there. My dad was doing, I always been exposed to it. And when I came here, I joined Chinmay Mission. I don't know if it was just part of my life. I've been there doing it. And from there I changed to so I started my career in program software engineer, and I did that for 10 years. And as situation had, because the company was laying off and my mother-in-law wasn't well, I had to stop. And that gave me an opportunity to rethink. And I used that time to figure out what I really wanted to do, because I didn't like what I was doing. That time I was not into meditation, but I kept thinking, what is it that I really like to do? And I connected again, I've been working with children in Chinmay Mission. I do service. So I decided to go into teaching, and I took an alternative certification. So I'm asking about soul plans. I was trying to tell you that, this is what I did. And I actually picked, and I felt like this is what I chose. And it's not like I got the teaching job immediately. It took me, because this country, it's new, and I didn't really have, I did an alternative certification. So I got initially a aid job, and I took it up for experience. But as fate may have it, or whatever, the job that opened up, they asked me to do a special needs, special education certification too. They said that's the only job. I'm a math teacher certified to teach math. I said, that is fine. I didn't understand special education. I did not understand anything, but I said, this is what they're asking. It is fine. And I got the certification. So I got the job, and that's where I worked for 5 years, the last few years. And later on, I realized this is what I was meant to be, because my personality, I am not able to handle huge classrooms, the small group. I have a lot of patience, and I can work. So I felt God gave me what I really am in for. So I believe that is my soul plan. But as it was going through special education, the principal wasn't supporting that as much. He was more into all the regular general education, and he wouldn't understand the needs of special education department or the teachers. And so I was struggling. And also the parents were not always supportive. There were legal issues, and there were always implications, because we had to take care if the kid, just stepped out of the premise. It was our responsibility. So all this was creating a lot of tension in me. And my husband was concerned. He said, you need to take some time for yourself and figure out if this is the right. And as I was thinking, COVID happened, and with special education kids, I couldn't continue doing online. So I just said, let me take time off. I needed to spend some time with my parents. So that's where I am. I didn't get back again. I was trying to get back, but I found meditation. Meanwhile, I did start meditation a few years back, but this online Buddha CEO and then spiritual tablets. And I'm happy with it, because I'm finding myself more, and I have learned a lot through meditation. So now at the back of my mind, I was like, that is what I thought was my soul plan. How did I just stop it? And should I be going back to it? Or now that I'm learning this, I don't really have time to do anything else, actually, because I spend all my time doing voluntary services or learning more or doing wisdom book. So this is where I am. I'm trying to see if this is meant to be, and it was my soul plan. Am I am ignoring it, or am I supposed to keep, if it comes up again, just take it up?
So that's a wonderful sharing and a question, because you have both elements in it. So thanks for that. One thing which can give you this answer is, how do you feel when, suppose, imagine you are going back. So when you're in that particular place, school or institution, how do you feel with the kids around? Are you able to help the kids? So, other than, of course, some administrative issue or legal issue, that's a separate issue. But when you are with the kids doing your work, how do you feel? If that is like giving you some kind of peace and satisfaction, then that is one scenario. But if you're not getting anything, it's more of a just like a job, then that's a second scenario. And that you'll have to see, because certainly if you have been connected to service and all, you never know whether this is a transitory phase to take you to your final destination, or this is your destination. And that's where you have to experiment with yourself, that where you get the peace of mind, that in spite of administrative issues, if you come end of the day satisfied that yes, you are helping these kids or helping this institution, or whichever way you get satisfaction, that will be one scenario which will tell you if this is it or not. Another point here could be that with this experience, is it opening some other door? Because sometimes that's what the transitory means. Like even here, you did your teaching thing, but you did not get there, but you got this one. But you got only this because you did the previous one. So previous one was transitory. To make you reach here, that was a small transition phase in your life. Even this could be transitory, depending if this is opening another door for you as a prerequisite. Okay, you have this experience, so you get some other job because of this experience. Then this could be transitory. So these are the two ways you can look into that. Do you really get sense of satisfaction by working with these kids? Plus, is there anything else which is, this one is opening the door for you?
Yeah, I think what you're saying makes sense. I feel now, looking back, that yes, it was satisfactory, but maybe I lacked some skills still, because I just got into it, right? And it was something that I really felt good, but I was struggling, right? It was still a lot of paperwork, a lot of things, and all that must have put me into stress. Now I feel handling stress is what I am learning through meditation, and it is removing that. So maybe it's preparing me, like you're saying, for like, maybe I can handle. So should I give it a try? I mean, I was going to give it a try last, when the school started last summer, but for some reason, the job that opened up just by the time I applied was gone. So I said, maybe it's not meant to be, and I just let it go. So should I just keep, when instead of going, seeking it, let it just, come one day?
Come to you.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. If it has to, it will come to you, or it will pull you there one way or the other. You will meet.
So I don't need to stress about, and wonder if I made a mistake. Okay, so I kind of was.
Absolutely. And plus what you said absolutely makes sense. It was not the job, but maybe just the administrative part, right? If that was causing anxiety or stress, whichever way we may put it, and that's how this COVID time gave you the time to have the tool, which we call meditation or pranayama, to handle that thing. Because every job will have a stress, doesn't matter what.
Yes.
Even if you do volunteer work, there will be some stress, right? So learning this is always a blissful thing. This means meditation, pranayama, whichever way, because now does not matter what you do, even as a, homemaker, it's a very stressful job. In fact, it's more than a corporate job. Trust me, as a mother, it's unbelievable, which we may sometimes overlook or not appreciate as much. So getting into meditation, pranayama, whatever you are using yoga for your de-stressing, that is certainly helpful. With this wisdom and knowledge and tool, as you may call it, yes, whenever the opportunity comes, try it. And your experience will tell you that, yes, that was only a minor blip. Now that part is taken care of by this, and I can enjoy working with the kids, for example. And that will tell you that which way to go.
Thank you. Thank you, Gaurav.
Very welcome. Anyone else, Master? Any question, or if you want to share your experience, please feel free either way before we get into meditation today.
Yeah, Gaurav sir, we can go to meditation.
Okay. Okay, Shivji, so we'll start. So Masters, let's get ready for meditation. And so please close your eyes. Relax. Initially, let's do the 7 rounds of slow breathing. If you know Anulom Vilom, you can do that. If not, just do slow, or you may call it deep breathing. That means slow exhale, slow inhale. Let's do 7 times. It will relax your brain waves. It will relax your mind. 7 times. Let's start. Exhale slowly. Whatever is comfortable at that pace, inhale slowly. Exhale slowly. Inhale slowly. Continue 5 more times. Masters, start breathing normally. Let's relax our body now. Relax your face, your cheeks. Maintain a gentle smile on your face. Relax your neck, your shoulders. Keep your spine straight, but your back should be relaxed. Relax your legs, your hands, but keep them in a cross position. Now that your mind and your body is relaxed, let's start observing your breath. Masters, observe your breath. Feel it as you inhale from the tip of your nostril all the way in. And as you exhale, back the tip of your nostril. Keep observing your breath and don't worry about any thoughts that you may have. It's okay, it may come. But don't spend any energy on any thoughts. Don't worry about it, just let it go. If any time you feel you are stuck with a thought, just leave it and start observing your breath again. Your normal, natural, soft breath. Maintain your normal, natural, soft breath. Keep observing with every inhale. You will intake lots of cosmic energy. And with every exhale, we let go lots of toxins from our body. And as we observe our breath, wherever our focus is, that's where our energy is. And so it helps the whole body. Dear Masters, let's rub our palm together. Place the fingers on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Slowly, very slowly, open your eyes and come back to your normal self. Come to your normal environment.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you very much with your beautiful session, as usual. Masters, if anyone has anything, any question that you need to ask last minute before we close the session for today.